My name is Lauren.
And I'm Callie.
And this is the Book Common Room podcast. Welcome back to the Book Common Room podcast, you guys. As always, we're excited to talk about the book of this month.
I know, I'm so excited.
Of course, we're doing Little Woman. What else are you reading in November?
Okay, I actually brought my journal this time because I was editing. I was just listening to our episode, and I was like, I didn't talk about any of the books that I read.
That's okay.
Okay,
I love your reading journal. I want you to make me one.
I can.
You should make me one.
I can. It's pretty fun. Okay, so let's see here. I read a couple things. Hold on. Okay, I read this book. Do you know who Taylor Jenkins Reid is?
I've heard that before.
She wrote The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's a different book. I read.
That's
she has another book called Malibu Rising. I thought it was kind of okay. It's supposed to be like family drama, but I feel like she spent a lot of time on side characters and not necessarily the family. And I wanted the family. But it was still good. It was fun.
That's good. Did you ever read that book that we got from the Pumpkin Cottage?
No. Because I need to reread the series.
Oh, that's right. Because isn't that the second book?
It's the third book. Yeah. What was it called? The first one is...
It's pretty cover. It has a pretty cover.
I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, we're so excited. Like, I feel like November, you have to read Little Woman. I feel like it's such a November vibe book. Maybe September.
It's fall.
I don't know. Maybe, like, it's just the burr. It's like as soon as the burr months begin, I feel like Little Woman just hits that vibe.
Other than Little Woman, so I've been reading a lot of stuff.
That's so good. I've been reading more of the books that I haven't finished, but I'm almost finished with them. Okay. So I can say that.
Yeah, while I'm looking for this one.
I am, oh my goodness, you guys. So I'm halfway through Trust of the Emerald Sea, finally. And it's taken me a long time because I'm reading out loud to my child.
That's so fun.
Who does not understand what is happening at all. But it's just been a fun book to read together. And so we've been reading Trust of the Emerald Sea. And that book, I honestly am like, this is why people are obsessed with Brandon Sanderson. It is such good writing.
It's honestly, that's the first book that I've read by him where I'm like, oh, yeah, I get it.
No, like his writing is witty, incredible. It's just like so seamless, and the narrative is so cohesive. He is hilarious.
He's so funny.
And I am like, wow. It's like kind of writing where you're like, I know I can't write like that.
Yep.
Like I want to be better so I can write like that.
I also think the reason why I love Tress verse like more than his other books is he was just kind of like, he was concise about what he wanted to say. I feel like a lot of times with Sanderson, he kind of goes off on other things, which some people really like.
Yeah.
They like all of like the added stuff, but I like how he had something to say and he did it really well and it was funny and entertaining.
The other thing too is like, I know people are always talking about like a woman writing a male character and a male writing a female character. I feel like he wasn't like, I feel like he was just writing a character who happened to be a woman. Yeah. And that's why it worked so well.
At the very, very beginning, I feel like she gave a little bit of I'm not like other girls type of vibe.
Yeah.
At the very, very beginning. I think that honestly, I think he wrote that in. I think he wrote in she's not like other girls.
Oh, that's so oh no, he did.
He
it's
did.
So funny.
Yeah. But honestly, it didn't bug me that much.
Cause she's like does her like normal like soapbox thing about like and this is at the beginning, so it's not much of a spoiler. Where
yeah,
she's
it's like the first couple
where
pages.
she's like, there's these damsels in distress or whatever, and like, but then she's the hero of her own story in like the book, and I think it's so charming and so sweet, and just such a good book. And if you have little ones, I think it's a really good book to read with them. It's so good.
It's just fun.
So I'm reading Trust of the Emerald Sea. I'm about halfway through. I'm halfway through The Great Alone. I really like that book.
Yeah.
Too. It's like, I really like Kristen Hanna's writing. It's just really enjoyable. And those are the two books that I'm working my way through.
I love it.
And then after that, I have a giant stack of other books I need to read.
Well, I feel like that's just kind of perpetual. That's just always going to be that way.
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like I read quite a bit, but I feel like there's really only a couple that really stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I read The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Did you ever read that in high school?
No, but people were like obsessed with that story and the movie.
Yes, because it's got Emma Watson in it.
Yes,
which is on
and Logan Lerman.
Yes,
who just made a resurgence in Only Murders in the Building, and I'm like, this is why we love this man. He's also in Bullet Train. I love Logan Lerman. People hated on him for Percy Jackson, but
oh yeah, he's Percy Jackson.
Yeah,
I was looking because I watched the movie and I was like, who do I know this from? That's what it is.
I actually watched Percy Jackson before I read the books.
Wow.
Yeah, so when I first read them, I was like picturing Black Grover, and then I was like, oh,
See,
he's
but honestly,
different.
I did too. Like even to this day, when I read Percy Jackson, that's who I picture.
Yeah, which is like fine.
Yeah,
but it's just not. The Grover in the movies is not the Grover of the books. No. The Grover of the books is like such a scaredy cat.
Yeah, he's a wimp.
And but anyways, just to say, Logan Lerman.
Yes,
person being a wallflower.
I remember reading it in high school, but I don't remember anything about it. I don't even remember how I felt about it. But I remember owning it because I think my mom got it for me for Christmas.
Oh, cute.
And then I read it, and that was about it. I honestly think it kind of just went over my head.
Okay.
I honestly think that's what it is because it's pretty dark. It's pretty depressing. It's pretty dark. It is like a really good coming of age. The main character, I freaking love him. He's so awkward and just a weirdo, but I love him.
I love that.
So I really enjoyed it.
Does it give like John Green vibes?
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
I would say it's a little deeper than John Green, but I still really liked it. And it's short.
Man.
Like, I think it's not even 200 pages. Yeah. And then I read My Dark Vanessa, which is one of those books that I have a hard time recommending to people because it's really heavy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's like Lolita from the perspective of the girl.
Okay.
Do you know what Lolita is?
Nope.
So Lolita is this classic book. If someone says it's their favorite book, it's a red flag type of a book. It's basically this English teacher who grooms one of his students. But the author wrote it in the sense that it's bad, but he wrote it in the teacher's perspective to like show how messed up these guys are, how they convince themselves it's okay, even though clearly it's not.
Interesting. Okay.
I've never read that. I've never read that one.
I haven't heard of it either.
Yeah.
So this is all new to me.
Well, here you go.
Yeah.
But so My Dark Vanessa is like from the perspective of the girl. I really, really liked though how this author wrote her as like not a perfect victim. Have you ever heard like there's no such thing as a perfect victim, right?
Yes.
And I feel like she really embodied that. Like this main character dealt with real trauma in a real way. Yeah. And I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like go read at your own risk.
Yeah.
It's a narrative that needs to be told, but also like if you feel like you're not ready to read it, like I get it.
Yes. Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So I read a couple other things, but those are really the two things that like stood out to me. The rest of the stuff is just kind of fun.
I love it. Those are such cool books that you're reading too. Like I feel like I haven't been reading as much contemporary.
Yeah. I felt the same way and I kind of just had this goal to just read more.
You're actually like me. Well, okay, like we'll eventually like probably do a recap video again for this year. Also, we should probably break up our episodes by year. Like this should have been season 2.
Oh yeah.
I've been thinking about that.
We could probably retroactively do that.
Yeah, we can. But like just so you know, like that's what we're gonna do. But
like
last year, Callie was on the hunt for contemporary novels that she think will become timeless classics.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I want to do that too. I have not been reading much contemporary.
That's okay.
So
I think I found a couple contenders. I'll let you look forward for that in our end of the year episode because I do want to talk about it.
This was not my reading year.
It's okay.
Beyond what we've read.
That's all right.
Which is good for me, like, because now I'm like reading because of this club that we have.
Yeah.
But I'm also not like reading other things.
Well,
really.
like we graduated from college, and then it was like
I don't know if it was like a burnout or what.
It could have been.
I will say I had like a resurgence last December with like, the Ophelia and Thorn.
The Winter's Promise.
Yes, but what is that series called? I don't remember.
But the first one's A Winter's Promise.
Yes, that whole series, that was fantastic. Mm-hmm. And then that was the only thing other than our book club that I like really completed. And then it was like a bunch of really amazing books that were very heavy.
Yeah. Well, we read a lot.
We did.
For this podcast.
But you reading still, and I'm just like
audiobooks.
I'm pooped. Oh yeah, audiobooks are fantastic. Anyways.
Yes.
But that's amazing. With what we've been reading, what have you guys been reading? What other contemporary books are you guys reading? Because I would love those suggestions. Because I do want to read more of that. But let's get into Little Women and
I'm so excited.
More about the author, because this is a non-spoiler.
Yes.
As you guys know, you know the drill.
Here's another book that you probably already just know how it ends anyways.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. If I didn't know you, because you introduced me to the movie.
Yes.
If I didn't see the movie, I, to this day, probably wouldn't know what it's about, though.
Okay. And now that you will be eventually reading this book, it definitely helps clarify the movie.
Yes.
And also really cool things Greta Gerwig did with the new adaptation.
Okay. Top tier adaptation, man.
For
if you're
real.
going to do an adaptation, do it like how she did it.
And what's so crazy is like people are giving her a lot of beef for the C.S. Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's changed the timeline. She's gender swapped Aslan.
Yes.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially in the Christian community.
Yeah.
And so I am very curious how she's going to do, because I still have hope.
I have hope.
And I have an excitement for it.
Yeah.
But and there's the thing is, if you're going to do big changes like that, there has to be a reason. And I don't see Greta Gerwig doing it without a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
I don't know.
And Greta Gerwig we trust, but also my heroes have failed me in the past. So
That's true. She could fail us.
Yes.
in my perspective and in Callie's perspective. Yes. So, but
we'll see. We'll hold out.
I'm being optimistic.
Yes, I like it.
Anyways, who was Louisa May Alcott? What a cool name. I just love that name. It just feels cottage vibe.
It does.
When you say her name. And honestly, like I feel like, do you know like the like, oh, what is it called? Hygge? Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's like Hygg. I think it's like, I don't think it's Scandinavian, but it's like, actually, okay, let me do.
We're going to look this up.
Yeah.
This tea's so good.
Oh, it's Danish. It's like a Danish thing. It's basically like how to make your home cozy kind of a thing.
No, I do know what you're talking about. Yes.
I feel like she is the mother of that aesthetic.
Yes.
At least for me.
Mm-hmm.
She has visited Copenhagen, but maybe that like adds to like everything that she writes. But it's just this very homey, cottagey vibe. That's Louisa May Alcott when I hear her.
I always forget that she's American.
Yeah.
I always thought growing up that she was like a Jane Austen type person. When did Jane Austen publish her books? Was it around the same time?
Mm-hmm. So she died in the 1840s.
Yeah.
And Louisa May Alcott died in
1888.
Mm-hmm.
So I always thought they were like in the same country, like of the same family. And so when we watched the movie for the first time, I was like, whoa, this is about America.
Yeah. Actually, no, I totally lied. She died in 1817.
Oh. Well, it's within the same century.
Yeah. And I should have known that because Persuasion was published posthumously.
Oh, yeah.
And we did Persuasion last year?
Earlier this year?
Yeah. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, they I'm pretty sure she read Jane Austen.
Well, yeah. But this is a very American story.
Yes.
Which is fun because I don't think we've done that yet.
And because it's like a Civil War era,
mm-hmm.
which we've never done.
No.
And it's just a completely different, I feel like we have been very European literature. So we
should branch out more.
I know we should.
Yeah.
We should do more like Eastern and American and What are we doing? What kind of book club is this? This is a book club where we pick our favorites. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's really what it is.
And why not? Because that's what you do when you control your own podcast.
Yep.
You control the content. Anyways, yeah, who was Louisa May Alcott?
Okay, so a rundown. So she was born November 29th, 1832. So our birthdays are very close together. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Your birthday and Louisa May Alcott? Is that what you're saying?
They're close.
They're close?
Yeah, well, mine's the 13th and hers is the 29th.
Yes,
so
I did know that. Close, but in my head, I was like, girl, she was born in 1832. Like, what do you mean close
What
birthday?
do you mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just want to be Alcott, so
yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine. You can channel her.
We'll channel her. Her parents are part of the transcendentalist movement.
The thing is, we know what this is. It's just hard to say sometimes, okay?
It is hard to say.
Transcendentalist, okay? We did it.
Can you give just like a quick 30-second
spiel,
just in case people don't know what it is?
But that was a mean thing for you to do.
I didn't want to do it.
I'm just kidding. It's like a very American movement,
yeah.
but it was during the Romantic period, which is interesting because when I think of the Romantic period, capital R, I just think
the vampire.
Yes, I just think like English writers.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think of the Americans. Yeah, exactly.
Well, because I feel like we've got who wrote the one with the kid on the raft? Tom Sawyer.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Mark Twain. Samuel Clemens.
Like you think of like Mark Twain.
Yes.
That's when you think of American authors. I feel like that's what you think of.
Yeah.
And Mark Twain. Very anti-romantic movement.
And they're also kind of anti-America.
Faulkner.
In a few ways, because this was during like build up to Civil War.
Yeah.
Or the repercussions post Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. Yes. So.
Anyway, sorry.
Back to transcendentalism.
Yes.
Yes. This was like a part of the Romantic movement. It's basically like a belief system of like unity of all creation and like the innate goodness of humanity. And they value like revelation and insight over logic, which is very much a Romantic movement because they're like very much like the human eye and feelings and emotions over like what was the age that came after it that like hated on the Romantic movement?
Modernism.
Realism. Realism and then Impressionism and then because realism and then Impressionism is like so like every movement is like opposite of the previous one because people are like, no, it's not that.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry. This is all to say like it's very much like emotion like driven and like feeling and revelation over like logic and reality.
Yeah.
So transcendentalism is like a branch of that and was like a big thing like Henry David Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson were really like highly individualistic figures that were a part of this movement. So anyways, yes, that's what her parents come from.
Yeah.
So it's kind of good it adds color to reading Little Woman.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. Well, even who she became as an adult.
Yeah.
Because of this, her father really believed that children should love learning.
I love that.
So she learned how to read and write as a young age, but they were also super poor. So they couldn't afford to send all of their kids to school. So Louisa specifically, I don't know about the rest of the sisters, because she had, like Little Woman, she was one of 4 sisters. And she was also the second oldest, like Jo. And but she was also the one that would like write as a job to like help support her family, like Jo. And she often became the teacher for the rest of her sisters, but they like went to school here and there.
Yeah.
But let's see here. She wrote in a journal once that she often wrote for financial and emotional support. I like the both.
Yeah.
Like she needed to write for money reasons, but she also just needed to write.
And it just happened to like support her family.
Yes.
I also just a whole philosophical debate, but William Wordsworth, like everyone kind of hated on him in his later years, or at least like fans of him because they felt like he was a sellout. Because he started like he was writing because he wanted to be radical and he wanted to like be political in some sense, but also because he just felt free when he like liberated when he was writing. But then slowly writing became a job.
Yeah.
And so people called him a sellout because he was commodifying writing.
Interesting.
And it's really interesting. But I feel like she did it in a way that never felt that way. No. And I don't know why it was different. But like, for whatever reason, I think it's because like she was writing that happened to give financial support.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was important to bring up, but I think about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Because I'm like, are they writing just to make money, or are they writing because they genuinely enjoy it?
That's true.
Like,
I wonder if because she, even though she grew up with like the romantic era, she was still very realist in her writings though. So maybe that could be it.
I don't know. But anyways, that's really cool that she did that. She had the both.
Okay, so in her adult life, she published her.
That was me.
I was about to say, is that my phone? Speaking notification.
Let's put on Do Not Disturb. Okay, and we're back.
Okay, so in her adult life, her first poem that she published was called Sunlight, under the pseudonym Flora Fairchild, which I kind of love.
I know. It sounds like a fairy name.
And I don't want to read this whole thing. It's not very long, but I love like the second stanza.
Yes, this poem is so cute. I wonder how old she was when she did this.
I don't know. I guess I could have looked into that. So the second stanza, it says, "It peeps o'er the mountain, it smiles on the plain, and the bright young flowers have awakened again from their dewy repose, and the blue summer air bears upward their fragrant burden of prayer." I don't know why, but I was like that. I could like picture what she's writing down.
So visual. So like, I also just love the general vibe of this poem. Yeah. It's just like the fleetingness of hope.
It's very romantic.
And yes. And that's how I feel Little Woman is. Yeah. It's like you get these spots. Oh my gosh, here's William Wordsworth again. You get these spots of sunlight.
Yeah.
And I think that was Wordsworth who talked about that, like spots of sunlight. And I feel like she does that in Little Woman because it's so interesting. And this is coming from someone who's only ever watched the movie. I haven't read the book yet. To be read. TBR.
It'll happen.
But the vibe of Little Woman is like the hardship of the time and the era and like the social era and like what it was like for women and and then but the thing is you have these spots of sunlight within her family. Yeah. And like how her family is like this major hope, but like even within her family there's like fleetingness. Yes. Because people move away. Mm-hmm. And like people don't like, I don't know, like you think of your childhood, you don't play the way you used to play. Or like your sibling is little and they want to play the games you played, but you're older now. There's just like this fleetingness even within like that sunlight for Jo, I guess. But anyways, I feel like she leans into that throughout her life in her writing.
Yeah, well, because that's a very romantic thing to... there's the perfect phrase in Japanese that I always just want to say. It's mono no aware.
Yes. There's no other word.
This. Like, it just perfectly describes what I'm thinking. It's like there are these things that just are never permanent. Like life is ever changing. Yeah. And I feel like she just embodies that. And how, because of that, you have to really hold on to, you have to hold on to the now, basically. Yeah. And you have to be very present. This isn't really a spoiler, but my favorite, what embodies this is when Amy does something that makes Jo really mad. Mm-hmm. And Marmee comes up to Jo and is like, what did she say? Don't let the sun set on your anger. Mm-hmm. And then later on, Jo says something like, life is too short to be angry at one's sisters. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's just so sweet. But I feel like that it is like what Little Woman really is. Mm-hmm. It's like you've got all of these precious people around you. Yeah. I did too. Mm-hmm. You've got these precious moments and these people that you really just have to cherish in the moment. Because it's so easy to look at the future. Oh, yeah. And get stressed out. Ugh. Which, I mean, you still should. And you should plan. But yeah.
And call back to the boy, the mole, the fox and the horse. Uh-huh. Like, when there's storms of life and things out of control. Yeah. Look to the people you love who are right under your nose, kind of a thing, or whatever the phrase is. Like, it is like a grounding thing because nothing is permanent.
Yeah.
And I love that word that you said, the Japanese word, because there's no translation for it.
No, I mean, there technically is, but
it's like it doesn't fit what the actual word is,
No.
like, which I like because it's just, I don't know.
Mhm.
There's something beautiful about that
Yes.
to me.
Yeah.
Like the fact that something can go and like be gone, and so you need to, I don't know. That's like such a,
It's very Buddhist.
I can't, I know, no, it is, but I can't like articulate it. I feel like this is why we need to write in Substack. So people are like, oh yeah, they are smart.
They actually think about things.
They actually like have eloquence, but like speech is just so like spontaneous for me that I just am like not eloquent whatsoever. I have friends who literally speak like how they write.
Same.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't either.
They're just very eloquent. I'm not.
No.
Anyways, but I just love that word.
Yes.
Because and there's like things in my life where I feel like I do believe that there is this eternal aspect, but this idea that things aren't permanent and you need to be able to savor it now and like not be like life is too short to be angry at one's sister's like, I just love that so much.
It's so precious. Okay, so to continue on, so she also served as a nurse in a Union hospital during the Civil War, and a lot of her short stories and poems she wrote based on this time in her life. Mm-hmm. She wrote a lot of short stories about the Civil War, which Little Woman, it is present. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards she went to London with her youngest sister, May. Who was based on Amy was based on her.
Yes.
Once you get to the book. Yes. And afterwards, when she came back to the States, she joined the women's suffrage movement and was the first woman to register to vote in Concord, Connecticut. Isn't that so cool? No
way. She's a legend.
Yeah, she was the first woman to ever register to vote in Concord, Connecticut. I thought that was awesome.
That is awesome.
And then she just seems like the type of author to really just write based on her life. Mm-hmm. So there are also a lot of short stories you can find that are based on her experiences being part of the women's suffrage movement.
Yeah.
And then in 1868, so between like 1868 and 1869, she wrote and published Little Woman after one of her publishers asked her to write a story for young women. Mm-hmm. And she, in her journals, said something to the effect of, it just makes sense to write about her own life.
Yeah.
And it was at the time where it was really popular to write, like to release chapter by chapter in the newspaper.
Serialized.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can never remember that word.
That's okay.
And eventually it got all compiled together. So that's how Little Woman came to be. And then I really like this excerpt from her journal that she wrote. There's this really cool book that compiled together like letters and journal entries. It said, October 30th, Mr. N, her editor, wants a second volume for spring. So Little Woman originally was split into chapters and then into 2 separate volumes. So When They Grow Up is the second volume.
Yeah.
So that's what she's talking about. Wants a second volume for spring. Pleasant notices and letters arrive, and much interest in my little woman who seem to find friends by their truth to life, as I hoped. And I loved that. Like, I feel like that is really embodied. She just wanted to write real people.
Yeah.
And because when I read Little Woman for the first time, I thought it was kind of boring. Mm-hmm. I think I said this in the last episode. And when I was rereading it for this episode, I could kind of understand where that was. And I could see why people think it's boring, because it's really just life.
Yeah.
And it's about like what it's like to grow up as a young woman. Mm-hmm. And so, but you can't help but fall in love with them.
I know.
It's so charming, and you just love all the sisters, and like you really care for them like as the story goes on. Yes. And you get invested.
Yes.
Even in trivial things, or some people might find certain things trivial, or they might really appreciate that she wrote certain aspects in the book that someone could really relate to.
Yeah.
So I love it.
I just feel like, okay, going back to movie adaptation, I feel like I'm leaning heavily into that because that's just what I know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I grew up with the Winona Ryder and Christian Bale, which I love that one.
I haven't seen that one.
That one also makes me cry. Like, the music, like, me and my sister literally have a video of us crying. Aww. Because we were watching that, and, like, we feel that fleetingness because, like, my youngest sister, literally, okay. I may have talked about this in another episode.
It's okay. I like
we are the Little Women.
You are.
Not like exactly, but like we have parts of that character, like they just fit us. They do. Like I know that other people can say the same with their sisters too. Like you just have, I don't know, like that kind of dynamic is captured so well within her family that I'm like, I see that in my family, and she wrote it in Little Women. And so anyways, but like I have an oldest sister who literally is Mick. And then I have a sister after that who's literally Joe. Who's just like Joe. And then, I mean, we've all established that I'm Beth.
Yes.
But my youngest sister is truly Amy.
She is Amy.
And we were watching the Winona Ryder one, and the music came on, and we're just crying because she's the last one at home. She's just like, I miss when we were all just together, because there's like that magic that of like being in the home together, and you have your squabbles and you have your fights and like in Little Women, but it's just all of that is like gone. And so I don't know, like when you watch Little Women, sometimes you're in the perspective of Lori, where you're coming into this home and you're like, I want to be a part of this. Mm-hmm. And then for my family, I feel like we are that, but you're wishing like Joe for those lost years, I guess.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
And I'm just like, I just feel like she captured him so well. Like I feel like those people, like those friends that have like, I don't know, like this book has become a friend to you. Like these people that were like, give us another.
Yeah.
And so I wonder what it would be like to have been a reader at the time they were coming out.
I don't know. Well, and she wrote it like for young women of the time. It wasn't like she was looking back or looking forward. She was very present.
Yeah.
So I could see being a young woman and like feeling seen.
Oh yeah. And being like, wow, like someone just totally wrote me, or like how I feel about things. Oh my goodness. And what's crazy is this book was so influential.
Yeah.
Like despite it being a girl's book.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I love it.
Which I'm going to say right now, because I think we're going to get into a little bit more about the whole girls book narrative. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I am going to say it's a girls book.
Yeah,
because she wrote it for girls.
Yes.
About girls. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
And I don't know.
Just like, I don't know. I read like lots of books that are like technically like boys' books.
Yeah.
Like they're gendered in that way because it's who the audience, like who was it written for. And I find genuine enjoyment. Like if I gave you my favorite movie list, everyone would be like, that's such a man's list.
Yeah.
Interstellar, like Master and Commander, Gladiator. Like I feel like those are very like stereotypical men favorites. Yeah. But it's because it's just, I don't know, like, who cares?
Who cares?
Like, because Little Women
just be
was written for girls, but so many people can get, like, such a special experience out of it. I don't know. I love it.
It's just so good. Okay. And then just to finish off Louisa's life. So she never married or had kids of her own. But after her sister May, the youngest, died during childbirth, May, the youngest sister, lived in London with her husband. She basically convinced her husband to send off her niece because she knew she was going to die. Because she died after she had the baby.
Oh,
and then a couple months later.
Was it like eclampsia or something?
I don't know.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. She basically was like, you need to send off our child to Louisa and have her raise
her.
Louisa May, which was her name, but they called her Lulu.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
And I tried to look to see like why or like how her husband felt about it, because it felt a little weird, but I couldn't really find anything.
Well, yeah, because like if I was the partner, and like they died,
it's still your child.
I would want to hold on to the child, not only because it's my child, but also it's part of your partner.
Yeah. So I don't know why. I couldn't really find anything, but I have my assumption is May and Louisa were super close. Yeah. Super, super, super close. And I could see Louisa being a little sad that she didn't have any kids. Yeah. And so it's almost like I can't be here for my daughter. So I want to send her off so you can be there for my daughter. Oh. So like that's what I think it is.
She also seems
could
like
be totally wrong.
A super great guardian to have.
Well, anyways, yeah. Well, so she raised this daughter, and apparently she was a spirited child, and did not want to do any of her homework.
Oh boy.
There were journal entries where Louise is like, she needs to do her homework. She's not doing it.
That's so funny.
But she ended up writing too. Like she became a writer like her aunt or her guardian. And she eventually passed away, Louisa, the author, not the child, in 1888 at the age of 55. Louisa was sick for a long time after she volunteered at the Union, one of the Union hospitals.
She got sick from that?
Yeah, she got sick from that and then just never got better.
Was it tuberculosis? What did she get?
So I couldn't find anything where it was like a doctor said this. Louisa thinks it was mercury poisoning.
Oh.
That's what Louisa thinks. She was sick of, and then she did eventually pass. But her niece, her adoptive daughter, basically just kept her legacy going.
That's so
and like
special.
just kept her aunt's stuff going and like wrote poems of her own.
That's
And they're really
cool.
sweet.
I also just like the fact that Alcott like wrote her final poem about Lulu.
Yes. Yeah. It was called
That's so sweet.
Lou Sing. Lu Sing. Which makes sense because she sings.
That's so
and her
cute.
niece's name was Lulu.
Yeah, let's get into those questions that we kind of been skirting around. So, and this is such a good question that you wrote down. It's like, why do we think that this is or is not a great American novel? Which is debated.
I feel like there are so many debated things.
Yes.
No one can answer the question really.
Yes, no one can. And that's just how literature goes.
Yeah.
It's just so subjective. But I think it's a great American novel.
I think so too.
And I think a lot of academics would argue that it is. Even if even with the reasons people have debated it's not. And the reasons they've debated it's not seem almost archaic. Like that was years ago. And now like most people probably would agree that it's a great American novel. So yeah. I would consider it a great American novel. And I think most people would.
Well, when I was doing research into it, first I just was doing research into who were the great American authors.
Yes.
And she was never on any of those lists. I didn't find a single list where she was included on there.
Interesting.
Right? It was all like the big names. You have Faulkner and Mark Twain.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And James Baldwin and who are the other really big ones?
Henry David Thoreau.
Yeah, like all of those people were on there.
Oh, like Flannery O'Connor. I think she's on there.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of the time if you think of like an American novel, there's usually a story about like race or classicism. What are the other big ones that get talked about a lot? Which are all very important and need to be said.
Literature.
But I feel like there's not all that many that are just about like
the family
or just women.
Yeah.
Like that. I feel like anytime there's a story where like a woman's at the center, you think of England and like the Brontes or Jane Austen or those people. You don't really think of like the gritty American novel.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a grittiness in American literature that I just gravitate towards.
Same.
But I love like the British romantics as well.
I love it all. And it all needs to be said and told. But I feel like she is a little bit outside of it. And I think that's why she doesn't get included in those lists.
She's not lumped in with them.
It's because like this is not the type of story you would automatically think is inherently American.
So it's like a genre thing.
Yeah.
Less of a, like it's great, but it's not like the general genre of the other American authors. Okay. I like it. Yes. I like that. I can see that.
I would consider it, but if you're going to think like an inherently American story, she's not necessarily like at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Because other than it being taking place during the Civil War, there's really nothing else.
Yes. Well, I guess that's true. I guess it's supposed to be like the modern. I don't even think it's that. I think she's just writing from her experience.
Well, yes.
So it's like, I don't know, but it's so classic for that reason because I feel like so many people can relate to that, especially women.
I still relate to a ton of stuff.
Yeah, like I mean, like it's not that I only had sisters, like I had brothers, but I know what it's like to be a sister and to have sisters, and it's so relatable in that way.
Yeah.
But also, there's just such important things that she explores. Like there is that aspect of like the Civil War era. She is like a feminist.
Yeah.
Like as we could consider that today.
Mm-hmm.
And she does really cool things. Like I like egalitarian marriage or like equal marriage. Like she explores that in a very beautiful way, because like it's not, this is the man's job and this is the woman's job. Like it's a partnership and you share your responsibilities. And she explores that, and that's, I don't know, well, if she's writing from experience, I'm assuming that's what she's seen in her parents. And you see that in The Little Woman's parents with Marmee and their dad, who is not super present because he's in the Civil War.
Yeah, for half the book. And then the other half, they're grown.
Yeah.
And so they're just not around.
Yeah. And it's so popular. Like Little Women and like several other of like Alcott's books have never been out of print since she's published them.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's so awesome. So
this is published like 140?
I don't know. When was this published? Little Women came out 1868. So, yeah.
Okay, I don't think we need to necessarily go super deep on this topic, but I do kind of want to mention it. Yeah. So this book, like we said before, was written for girls. Mm-hmm. However, why do you think it might be beneficial for men or boys to read this book? And do you think that there is a man or a boy out there that would actually do it?
Yes! Okay.
Because you have that one kid. Yes! You talked about last episode.
Yes. Obi, where are you now? I honestly, like, that would be so funny if, like, I don't know, like, for whatever reason, this random kid from, like, middle school in Las Vegas
sees this.
Like, he's so obsessed with Little Women, he just listens to anything Little Women and finds this episode.
That'd be awesome.
That would be crazy. But yeah, that was one kid that was influenced it. And I wonder if it was because he had sisters.
Could be.
And like they were like, read this. But I think it's super beneficial because I feel like men will never understand women.
Yeah. And
like I don't think we'll ever truly understand men. Like we just have different, I don't know, like maybe this is getting political saying that, but I do like feel like you'll never be fully understood by the other.
Yeah.
But you have to have these stories so they can at least like have some sort of compassion.
Yeah, or like empathy.
Yeah.
It's like something like, I don't entirely understand this, but
yeah,
I'm empathetic.
And like that can even be said on an individual level. Like you'll never truly understand what the other person's going through. But as like women and like as men, like separately, like we have different trials and like struggles. But the thing is, like, women just have had it so rough.
Yes.
And like I remember saying that to a guy one time.
Oh no.
I remember saying like historically, like women have always had the short end of the stick. And he's like, no, it's pretty equal. I was like, what?
Do we need to sit and have a history lesson?
I was like, truly, like, I really do think like we've always had the short end of the stick in like so many ways. And it can even like come down to like our anatomy.
Yeah.
Like we literally have been born to experience pain. Like that sounds horrible, but it's true.
It's
like,
true.
We know pain in a different way. And it's almost like a constant.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like in a physical sense. And then I feel like Louisa May Alcott does a good job exploring the hardship of women in a social sense. But the thing is, what's beautiful is she doesn't experience that inequality in her family.
Yeah.
And I think that's so special.
Even when they introduce Laurie into the family, it's still not like, oh, he's a man, so he's better.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like one is better than the other, but it is like
they're equal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think it's very important for men to find me too. I think it's important because you can find that compassion or empathy for the other, because and like everyone always talks about like Joe's monologue, and I don't know what it's like in the book.
It's different.
Okay.
That was definitely something that Greta added.
Okay. It feels like it's leaning more into Alcott. Like what Alcott may have been
if
saying.
She wrote the book today and didn't have any of the pressures to change Joe's story, which we'll get into in spoilers, I think she would have done what Greta did.
Yeah, probably. I also feel like Alcott would be proud of that adaptation.
Oh, 100%.
To be honest, like I think she would be like, I love that.
Yeah.
But
because we've talked about how this is like a very feminist book. In the spoiler episode, I'm going to say this now so I remember later. There are a couple aspects that surprised me that she added in.
Interesting.
And I'm curious to see if any of you guys will be able to notice it.
Okay.
Or if I'm just like reading too much into it.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
But like Jo has this monologue in the film, Little Women. I hope that this isn't too spoiler.
I think you're fine.
Because it's a movie and it's not really the book. But she goes off on like how like women are capable of so much more than just being beautiful. Like, we have a voice that is important to hear, essentially. And like we're thinking people. But she also is like, I hate how that's all like we're portrayed as being good for. And so she like wants to push back against it while also leaning into that I'm lonely. Like I do want love and I do want I want to be cared for and I want to have a companion and all of those things that come with being a stereotypical woman, I guess. And I just love that because there's a frustration with it because I don't know if you felt this growing up, but I hated being called cute.
Oh, I did too.
If you called me cute,
I did too.
Okay. And it was because I hated how I was filling a box or like I was being put into this box.
Or someone's like, looking down
what
at
a
you.
Little girl should be.
Yeah.
So like they were like, I loved the color pink, but I refused to publicly like it. I was like, no, I like blue.
Yep.
Because I was like, why do I have to immediately like pink? I literally was like, some people were like, oh, that's so like, that's not real. Like people don't actually do. No, they did. Like when I was a little kid, I hated being called cute. I hated having my hair nice. So my mom would make my hair super cute. I would rip it out.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I would like.
Wait, this explains your whole life.
But like I hated being called cute and I hated like being this like little like fitting into this what a little girl would be. And so I fought hard against it. I was like, I'm a tomboy.
Yeah.
Like I run with the boys. And I literally did. Like I had a hard time being with girls because I felt like they fit into that stereotype that I felt like everyone was kind of expecting of me. And so I love Jo where she's like, I can't get over my disappointment of like, or not even Jo, like Louisa May Alcott.
Yeah.
Like she is like, I should have been born a boy,
you
know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like I really understand that because I hated anything feminine.
Yeah.
Like feminine as a kid because I was like, I hated filling a role, I guess. So I think it's important for boys to like read and be like, oh, like women have a lot of pressure on them. And
well, even like Amy's story.
Oh.
I think the first time I read it, I wanted to relate more to Jo, and maybe I do. Like if an outside person is looking at me, like they're like, oh yeah, she's probably more like Jo. But I would say personally, I relate more to Amy, even though I'm the oldest in my family.
Yeah,
there's this layer of Amy where she just wants to be great,
oh,
and if she's gonna be great, she just doesn't want to be anything, and. I don't know. There's just this aspect to Amy that I love and adore, but I think she also really embodies she's the character that has to take on the marrying the rich and being pretty and fitting what society wants so that her family can like have a social standing.
Yeah. Yep.
I feel like she takes it on and she recognizes that she has to take on that role and she accepts it. And it does kind of become something that she eventually does find someone that she wants to be with and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's also another aspect of
being a woman. And it's a little bit more complicated than just fitting a role because you have to consciously think, do I want to do that? I'm going to be Jo and I'm going to go against it, or I'm going to be Amy and realize that maybe it might be smart too, but also I'm going to push against it in my own way. It's also like, I wish I could articulate my frustrations. I guess it comes down to like, you didn't really choose this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But with like, I love how it kind of worked out because she's basing a lot of this off of her family.
Yes.
But all these women are like different aspects of being a woman. And it just like, and they all kind of capture it holistically together. Like I want to be individual and I want to have my independence where I also want to have a family and I want to raise children and I want to mother.
Yeah.
Like this instinctual need to mother. I love that.
Yeah.
And then also like the desire to be influential and to have like a legacy and to like do something great and permanent. Or like, why even try? Like I get all of those different like psyches of like being a woman. And
I feel like
it's so
Marmee really embodies that.
Yes.
I think she's kind of
all of
the
them.
character that's all of them.
Yeah.
Marmee is probably just the best character in the whole thing. I freaking love her.
She's so like wise but playful and loving and like, man, like if you want to look to someone of like being a mom. She
serves. Yeah. She's a mom, but she like
has children.
The community love her and know her. Yeah.
So she really does like embody her Little Women.
She does.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. But I truly feel like it's beneficial for whoever to read this. Because it's not only like understanding women's plight, but it's also like girls like to play. Yeah. And girls have fun. And like, I don't know. There's I don't know. It's a special book. And I would love to read because she writes Little Men.
Yeah.
I would love to read that. Like, and see what like perspective she gives there, which obviously is going to be different because it's a woman writing for like a man, like her perspective of men's perspective, I guess. But I think it's all important.
I love it. Well, I'm excited to get into the spoiler episode and we can actually take deep dives.
I know. If we haven't already. It's fine.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it and you have fun reading the book.
Yes.
But we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
We always say it in the same tone.
We do.
I like make fun of us every time. Bye.